Hey class, this is Brother Siemens here. I'm just hanging out in my office here at the seminary in St. George, Utah, and I just wanted to put together a really short video, just so that you understand where I'm coming from. I always just try to keep the videos 5 minutes or less because you know you're busy, and I'm sure you didn't realize that I had to tell you how busy you are, but to juggle family and work and callings and school can be so it can add up and your time can go so fast. And so anyways, I try to keep these things pretty simple. But I just wanted to say, isn't it crazy that something that the idea of starting school again, most of you have expressed just that it was spirit driven. That this was an answer to prayers, and when you heard the missionaries kind of talking about it, you're like, yes, this is for me. Isn't it just crazy that something just so right, um, the first week can, for some of us, just feel a little bit overwhelming because there's a little bit to learn. How to use the computer and how to get back into the habit of getting study done and finding time and then maybe Satan's even in there trying to go, all right, well, I'm going to make them get all stressed out and procrastinate so they don't have time to get things done. But you've made it through week one, and week two here, we have this opportunity to really dive into the scriptures. And so I just really want to say is, number one, it was awesome to see on the discussion boards to jump in and so much support for one another. Um, it was just fun, that you just strangers out there in a similar situation that we just open ourselves up and like, hey, this is me, and so many of you were just so supportive, and that's fun, and I appreciate that. Um, I love the Book of Mormon. Uh, it's a true book, and I love how it begins. I love that it's a book about families and families with real problems. With dad trying to do the best he can to follow, and mom supporting dad, but still having concerns about children and health. Um, I love that God is at the very beginning of this book, that he's speaking, that he's not a silent God, but he's a God that gives instruction and a God that gives support, and he's a God that challenges us. And so with this week, looking at the first 5 chapters, just enjoy it. Choose the option that works for you. If you feel just kind of newness to it, and you haven't read the book in a while, you're just going to say, well, you know what, I'm just going to read this sequentially. I'm just going to read it in order, and I'm going to try to refamiliarize myself. Or if you're the others, just saying, I'm going to dedicate a certain amount of time, and I'm going to be okay that if there's a verse that I go, ooh, what does that mean? And you glance down at the footnotes and you try to make connections and you ask questions, whichever works for you. The important thing is that you're in the book and you're sending a message that says, I want to learn, and I have questions, and I promise you that when you spend time in the scriptures, in the Book of Mormon, you're going to feel the Spirit. He's going to talk to you, and so if you do those simple things of, start with prayer, ask Him to reveal something to you, to show you something new, to bring something to your mind, or even show you something that you need to change. It'll be there. Um, and so, don't stress out about the structure. Stress out enough that you'll read and reread, the syllabus, and the content page is beautiful for each week. But just give it a couple of weeks. It'll become more natural. You'll understand, what's required on odd weeks and what's required on even weeks. And you can do this. You really can. And God bless you. Expect Him to bless you. Don't demand it, but know that if you're doing something good, God will come through for you. So you guys are awesome, and I'll see you on the discussion boards. I'm interested to see what your insights are, and let's just have another great week.